The magic of the Midnight Garden Kids Story Bedtime Story. In a small village at the edge of a vast forest, there was a secret garden that only appeared at midnight. This garden was unlike any other. It was filled with flowers that glowed in the dark, trees that whispered ancient tales, and creatures that only came out when the moon was at its brightest. The villagers often spoke of the Midnight Garden, but no one had ever dared to enter, for it was said to be magical and mysterious. One evening, a young boy named Theo overheard his grandmother telling a story about the Midnight Garden. She spoke of a rare flower called the moon blossom that bloomed once every 100 years, and whoever found it would be granted one wish. Theo was enchanted by the story. "I want to find the moon blossom," he whispered to himself. At the stroke of midnight, when the moon was full and the sky clear, Theo decided to venture into the forest. He knew he had to be brave if he wanted to uncover the secrets of the garden. As he walked through the trees, he noticed the air around him felt different, lighter, almost magical. Soon, he found himself standing at the entrance to the Midnight Garden. The garden was bathed in soft, silvery light, and the flowers around him glowed with a gentle, warm glow. He could hear the faint sound of music, like wind chimes, coming from deep within the garden. Theo followed the sound, weaving through the flowers, when he spotted a wise-looking rabbit sitting on a rock. "You've come to seek the moon blossom, haven't you?" the rabbit asked, its eyes twinkling. Theo nodded eagerly. "Yes, I have to find it." The rabbit smiled. "The path to the moon blossom is not easy. You must prove your heart is pure and your intentions kind." Theo agreed without hesitation, and the rabbit led him further into the garden. The first task was to help a family of fireflies who had lost their way. Their tiny lights flickered in confusion, and they buzzed anxiously. Theo knelt down and gently cupped his hands, guiding them with his own light, offering the fireflies a safe path. The fireflies fluttered happily, and the rabbit nodded approvingly. "You've passed the first test." The second task was to help a small bird who had lost its voice. Theo found the bird perched on a branch, looking sad and silent. He softly sang a tune, hoping to encourage the bird. Slowly, the bird began to chirp along, its voice returning. The rabbit gave a satisfied nod. "You have passed the second test." Finally, Theo reached the heart of the garden, where the moon blossom stood, glowing brightly under the moonlight. It shimmered with a light that seemed to dance with the stars. The rabbit smiled warmly. "You have proven your kindness and bravery, Theo. Now, the moon blossom is yours." Theo kneeled and gently touched the flower, and in that moment, a soft, magical breeze surrounded him. He closed his eyes and made his wish. "I wish for the happiness of all the creatures in the garden." The moon blossom's petals unfolded, and a soft glow filled the garden, spreading peace and warmth throughout the entire forest. Theo knew that his wish had been granted, not just for the garden, but for the world beyond. As dawn approached, Theo left the Midnight Garden, carrying its magic in his heart. The next morning, the villagers awoke to find the garden more beautiful than ever, and Theo knew that he had made the world a little brighter, just by being kind.